Why does your brain treat someone else's disapproval as an immediate physical threat? A stranger cuts you off in traffic. A coworker makes a passive-aggressive comment. Your partner uses a slightly cold tone of voice. The entire interaction lasts less than 5 seconds. Yet 5 hours later, you are still replaying it. Your chest feels tight. You are arguing with a ghost in your own head. The uncomfortable truth is this: they did not ruin your day. You handed them the keys to your nervous system. Why does the human brain let other people control it so easily? Let's look at what actually happens in your daily life. You wake up feeling calm, you have plans, you have goals. Then an email arrives with a slightly critical sentence. Instantly, your focus evaporates. You open your laptop to work, but your mind isn't on the screen. It's trapped in a simulated argument. You craft the perfect response. You imagine what they will say back. You defend yourself against accusations that haven't even been made. By 3 p.m., you feel completely drained. Not because you worked hard, but because you spent 7 hours fighting a psychological war that only existed in your own skull. You tell yourself you just care too much. You tell yourself you're an overthinker. But here is where the story gets strange. Your brain isn't doing this because you are weak. It is running a survival program that is thousands of years old. To understand why other people can hijack your mind, we have to look at the brain's alarm system, the amygdala. For 99% of human history, living in isolation meant death. If your tribe disapproved of you, you were cast out. No food, no protection, no survival. Because of this, your brain evolved to treat social disapproval as a lethal threat. When someone rolls their eyes at you today, there is no physical danger. You will not starve. You will not freeze. But your ancient survival hardware does not know the difference between a predator and a critical comment. It floods your bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline. It forces your prefrontal cortex to obsess over the conflict until it feels resolved. You aren't overthinking because you want to. Your brain genuinely believes it is fighting for your life. And this is where most people make a critical mistake. They try to suppress the anxiety. They tell themselves to just stop caring. But you cannot silence a biological alarm system by telling it to relax. The deeper problem isn't the emotion itself. It is a psychological bias called the looking glass self. In the early 1900s, sociologist Charles Cooley described a strange paradox about human identity. He realized, you are not who you think you are. You are not who other people think you are. You are who you think other people think you are. Think about that for a second. Most of your self-worth is built on a guess. You assume someone thinks you are incompetent, so you feel incompetent. You assume someone finds you annoying, so you act insecure. Psychologists call this an external locus of control. You have placed your emotional baseline in the hands of spectators. If they praise you, you feel worthy. If they ignore you, you feel invisible. When you live like this, you aren't living your life. You are performing a character designed to keep everyone else comfortable. And every time you change your behavior to manage someone else's mood, you reinforce a silent belief in your subconscious. Their opinion matters more than my peace. What happens if you repeat this pattern for 5 years? For 10 years? You become a chameleon. You pick a career your parents approved of instead of the one you wanted. You stay in relationships that drain you because you fear being the bad guy. You say yes to projects you hate because you cannot bear 3 seconds of awkward silence. The tragedy is not that people will criticize you. The tragedy is that you can spend an entire lifetime avoiding criticism and still end up miserable. Because the people you are trying so hard to appease, they aren't thinking about you. They are trapped in their own heads, obsessing over what other people think of them. You are sacrificing your sanity for an audience that isn't even paying attention. So how do you take the remote control back? How do you train your nervous system to stay steady when the room is shaking? You do not need to become cold, arrogant, or numb. You need a system that interrupts the biological reaction before it becomes an emotional loop. This is the 3-step sovereignty protocol. Step 1. The projection filter. When someone attacks your character or gives unsolicited criticism, pause for 3 seconds. Ask yourself one question. Is this data, or is this a projection? Data is objective feedback you can use to improve. Projection is someone else's insecurity, stress, or bad day projected onto you. 90% of negative reactions have nothing to do with you. Do not accept deliveries that do not have your name on them. Step 2. The 2-second gap. When you feel the urge to explain yourself, apologize, or defend your choices, hold a 2-second silence. People-pleasing is an automatic reflex. The silence breaks the circuit. It forces your logical brain to take over from your amygdala. In those 2 seconds, remember, you do not need to attend every argument you are invited to. Step 3. Internal validation audits. Before making a decision, ask yourself, would I still choose this if nobody in the world ever found out? If the answer is no, you are not chasing a goal, you are chasing applause. Strip away the audience, and your real priorities become immediately obvious. Do not try to overhaul your entire personality today. Start with one deliberate boundary. For the next 24 hours, try this. The next time someone asks you to do something you genuinely do not want to do not make up an elaborate excuse. Do not apologize 3 times. Simply say, I can't make that work right now, but thank you for asking. Watch what your brain does. A wave of guilt will rise in your chest. Let it rise. Do not fix it. When you sit through the discomfort without backing down, your nervous system learns something revolutionary. Someone can be disappointed in you, and you will still be completely safe. Mental freedom is not the absence of critics. Mental freedom is the absence of the need to be liked by everyone you meet. You cannot control what people think about you. You cannot control the narratives they create in their own heads. Their perception of you is their business. Your peace is yours. The moment you stop managing other people's emotions is the exact moment you get your own mind back. What is one situation in your life right now where you know you are giving away your power? Tell me in the comments below. Writing it down is where awareness begins. If you want to understand your mind instead of constantly fighting it, subscribe to Atomic Mindset. Reclaiming your mind starts with your thoughts, but keeping it requires mastering your attention. And that is exactly what we break down in this next video on screen right now. Click it, and let's keep going.